Let's talk next about a new poll from CBS News that really highlights the degree to which we're in serious trouble in this country because of the things that people believe, disproportionately right wingers, disproportionately Republicans, disproportionately Trumpists. Now, some will write in and say, David, you are over exaggerating the degree to which these problems are among the American right. And I would say, no, I'm not. The data actually tells us that that's exactly the case. So let's take a look at the poll. CBS News, still more to learn about January 6th, most Americans say. Some of the data here is concerning and some is not. We'll look at some of the questions. When it comes to the January 6th attack on the Capitol, 72% of Americans say there is more to learn, and 28% say we know all there is to know. This is one of those questions where, in principle, there's nothing concerning here. It was a complex event in the sense that it involved a lot of moving parts. It was multifaceted in that it was Donald Trump and Republicans and right-wing media and others fomenting the idea that the election was stolen. And I would agree there is still more to learn. The problem is a lot of the people who say there's still more to learn, what they mean by that is, even at the top level, that this was violent right-wingers inspired by Republicans with the lie that the election was stolen, which it wasn't. That's not even something that they would accept. So this is actually quite concerning. Among Republicans, when they were asked about the actions of those who forced their way into the Capitol, the number of Republicans that strongly disapprove of the riots has declined by 12 points. In other words, more people now, at least to some degree, approve of what took place on January 6th. And most of that is in somewhat approve. There's an increase in people that disapprove, but only somewhat. And so the point here is the strong Republican opposition condemnation of what happened on January 6th has declined 12 points since January. How would you describe what happened at the Capitol? 55% of Trump voters describe what happened at the Capitol as a defense of freedom. And 51% of Trumpists describe what happened at the Capitol as patriotism. This is absolutely unconscionable. Now, if you're looking at the graphic, 20% of Trump voters call what happened on the 6th an insurrection. I'm actually surprised that even 20% of them are willing to call it that. This is the type of, now I'm not saying these people are Nazis. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that this level of cognitive dissonance with what took place on that day is the type of thing that created a vacuum in which Hitler was able to seize power in 1930s Germany. I'm not saying anyone is Hitler. I'm not saying anyone is a Nazi. But this is the type of thing where when you see people this disconnected, 55% of Trump voters say those riots, that violent insurrectious coup attempt, that was a defense of freedom. That's really, really dangerous stuff. And in particular, it was a riot fomented by the then sitting president. 66% of all respondents say that U.S. democracy today is threatened and 34% say it is secure. This is a really complicated question. And unfortunately, it's like, I don't even know that these polls give us what we need to know, because there are people on the left who believe democracy is threatened because Trump and Republicans tried to overturn the results of the election. There are people on the right who think that democracy is threatened because they believe that Joe Biden didn't really win and is somehow now the president. So even a simple question like democracy is threatened today, the answer doesn't really tell us much because the reasons why people say yes vary dramatically. The bottom line is this was an attempt to overturn the election results based on the lie that it was stolen. That riotous insurrection was fomented by the then sitting president. It was bad enough how the right reacted at the time, but 6 months later, they are sort of, you could call it a revisionist history. You could call it a group delusion. Whatever you call it, the percentage of Republicans who don't think it was that serious has gone up in the 6 months since it took place. and the percentage of Republicans and Trump voters who say it was a positive act to defend freedom has gone up dramatically. So what is the takeaway? The takeaway continues to be, number one, I don't know how we fix this. I'm out of ideas, guys. Number two, the extremist faction of the Republican Party is the dominant wing. If you are a vile Republican in most ways, like Liz Cheney is, but you think, guys, this election stuff makes us look stupid, you are now apparently in the minority in the Republican Party, at least as far as they're willing to admit publicly. And then final takeaway, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, two Democratic senators who insist that we want to find common ground with Republicans, we want to work together, we need to find compromise that is between what Democrats and Republicans want. These are the people that you are trying to do that with. The people, 55% who say the riots were a defense of freedom. Only 20% of whom are willing to say it was an attempted insurrection. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, how exactly do you find common ground with those people? It's a genuine question. We're really, really in trouble. I want to remind you, the David Pakman Show is not in trouble. We are actually on the precipice of our 16th anniversary. At the completion of Monday, August 16th, it will be our 16th anniversary. And so on the 16th for 16, it's very 16 related. We're going to do a membership special. If you've been thinking of signing up, we're primarily funded by our viewers and listeners like you through the membership program. Monday, August 16th, we'll be doing a big one-day membership special. I hope that you will get on my newsletter at davidpakman.com. And then Monday, the 16th, you'll get a fantastic email telling you how to take advantage of this criminally low membership discount. One of our sponsors is Four Sigmatic, the company best known for their delicious mushroom coffee. Four Sigmatic's mushroom coffee is organic, fair trade, single origin Arabica coffee with both lion's mane and chaga mushrooms. Chaga mushrooms have actually been shown to have potential in supporting the immune system in peer-reviewed studies. I've been drinking Four Sigmatic coffee a lot lately. It actually doesn't taste anything like mushrooms. It just tastes like any delicious coffee, but it's really easy on my stomach, doesn't give me any jittery feeling or a midday crash. And they have over 20,000 five-star reviews. And best of all, if you don't love it, you'll get 100% of your money back because they stand behind their product. You've got nothing to lose by giving it a try. Four Sigmatic is giving my audience up to 40% off and free shipping when you go to foursigmatic.com/Pakman. The link is right underneath this video.